What's up, everyone? GSmith64 here, coming at you with another fictional character in D&D. Today's one is a little bit of a weird one, but I hope you enjoy it anyways. You ever wanted a Demon Harem? You answered that with a yes. Ever willing to go to hell? You answered that with a yes. Well, then, you might be interested in playing Helltaker. But what if I told you you can play Helltaker in D&D? Let's hop into it, shall we? So, first things first, as always, we have to rank the difficulty of the build. I'm going to rank it a 3 out of 5, and that is only because we are going to be multi-classing twice. We're not going to be doing any spellcasters, but it still makes it a little weird, so it makes the build a little harder to do. Other than that, though, let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off, our race will be human. Of course, that means we'll be a variant human. We'll take Abyssal as the extra language we get, and take the Persuasion skill as well. Then, we get a feat. For that feat, we will take the Chef feat. What the Chef feat gives us, it gives an increased Constitution or Wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. We're going to be adding that to Con. You gain proficiency with cooking utensils if you don't already have it. And then, as part of a short rest, you can cook special food, provided you have the ingredients and the cook utensils. And you can prepare enough of this food for a number of creatures equal to 4 plus your proficiency bonus. Starting off, that means you can make 6, which is pretty good. Pretty good for those snacks. At the end of the short rest, any creature who eats the food and spends one or more hit dice to regain hit points regains an extra D8 hit points. So that means you'll be given a little extra healing on short rests. Not that everyone really uses them, but hey, you get it. You can make pancakes. But the one that makes it a little better is you can make even more pancakes during a long rest. With 1 hour of work, or when you finish a long rest, you can cook a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus. These special treats last 8 hours after being made. The creature can use a bonus action to eat one of these treats and gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. So it's a little extra hit point bonus to people. And you know how to cook now. You can make pancakes for Lucifer. She may even praise you for it. On top of that, though, on top of gaining that skill, we are going to gain +1 to our dex and +1 to our charisma from being a variant human. And I know these numbers are just kind of up in the air right now. We'll get the numbers into a second. But first, we have to go to the custom background. That's right, we're going to make our own custom background, which will give us survival and medicine. Dealing with the Demon Harem means you need to be able to treat your own wounds and survive your new day-to-day lifestyle. Finally, let's get into the stats. I'll be using the point buy system, but feel free to use whatever system format you want. Just use this as a template. First off will be Charisma. It'll be 15. We want this as high as possible so we can seduce the demons with our natural skills and not rely on any magic to help us. This will go up to a 16 though, just remember that, because we get that +1 earlier. Strength will next at 14. We want to be able to break the chains Justice throws at us with our plain old kicks. Dex and Con are both going to be at 13, due to need a high stamina and being able to stealth your way into hell somehow. Don't know how you did it, but you did it. Both of those will be boosted to 14 thanks to our feat and the variant human abilities. Unfortunately, though, that means our mental stats are going to be absolute trash. Wisdom or intelligence will be at 9, while the other is at 8. Honestly, it's dealer's choice. You're led by your lust and passion, not so much your brain. Granted, then again, you are good at turn-based strategies, so maybe wisdom? It doesn't matter too much. Well, you know who doesn't need a brain? Rogues. Start off first level in Rogue, so we get 4 more skills and 2 expertise of those. We'll take Athletics, Stealth, Perception, and Performance. The 2 skills we will take expertise in are Performance and Persuasion. So we're even better at seducing those demons. I mean, we gotta be naturally charmful, right? That's the best way to do it. On top of this, you do get a D6 of sneak attack, which is cool if we were using a finesse weapon. Unfortunately, unless you modify the build, you're not really going to be using this because unarmed strikes aren't finesse weapons, I'm afraid. You could just say this fills me with rage, though. You know who else is full of rage, though? You. Take a dip into Barbarian. And we'll go ahead and gain range and unarmored defense. Range gives extra attacks with strength attacks and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Unarmored defense makes it so that when we aren't wearing armor, your AC is now 10 plus your con modifier plus your dex modifier. Helltaker is seen wearing a suit all the time. That, or an apron. I don't really think that counts as armor. So we're going to need unarmored defense from somewhere. And this was one of the easier ways to get it, without complications to the build. But you know what? Maybe we were too angry about that. Let's calm it down, take a deep breath, plunge into hell, and gain a level in fighter. First level fighter gives you a fighting style and second wind. Fighting style will be unarmed fighter from UA, so we can destroy Justice's chains with our buried kicks. Second wind lets you heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action, so that way you keep your journey in hell with little to no problem. And unarmed fighter, because you're unfamiliar with it, gives you a d6 if one hand is empty, and a d8 on your weapon die if both hands are empty. On top of this, anytime you grapple someone, you get to do a d4 additional damage to them, and the first time you grapple them, you get to do a d4 of damage plus your strength modifier. This is also part of the reason why we wanted to go Barbarian, because while we're raging, that damage goes up by our rage bonus. But, as you know, since those are not finesse attacks, that sneak attack die is just going to sit there, sad and helpless. Anyways, get another level in fighter, and you gain your action surge. Action surge lets you gain additional action once per long rest, meaning, hey, we'll have the extra will to go through hell and an extra attack once per long rest, or just an extra action. Decide how you use it how you will. Level up again in fighter, gain an archetype. It's going to be champion, so that way we can gain a little more damage with a higher chance to crit. Nothing too much to say about this one, but hey, next level gives an ASI, which we'll use to boost charisma to 18. So that way, we're always improving at the art of building a harem. A surprise to no one, except maybe the High Prosecutor, we're taking another level in fighter and getting an amazing double kick. Another level in fighter, using that as another ASI. Gonna get a +2 to our con, making it 16. Doing this gives us the double bonus of extra AC and extra health. Gathering another level of fighter, we gain Remarkable Athlete. This is level 7 fighter, by the way, in case you lost track. You can add half your proficiency bonus, rounded up, to any strength, dexterity, and constitution check you make that doesn't use your proficiency bonus. That means you get a +3 on constitution checks. That can be useful for things like holding your breath, showing off in a drinking contest, standing guard for an extra hour, or, you know, just getting stabbed by a demon. You also get half your proficiency bonus in initiative checks, since those are dex checks. Means you get an extra plus, well, for now, I think it's a +3 to your initiative, which isn't bad. It's not great. No, it's a +2, my bad. But I mean, it's still helpful because that means we get a +4 to initiative. In addition, when you're making a running long jump, the distance you can cover increases by the number of feet equal to your strength modifier. So now you can jump farther. Then, we're going to go fighter again. For another ASI to boost con once again, getting it to 18, making our AC now 16, and our health go up once again by another 10. Well, this would actually be another 9. No, it would be 10 because we're 2 levels of multi-class. That's right, never mind. Another level fighter, gain Indomitable, which will let you re-roll a saving throw that you fail. If you do so, you must use the new roll and you can't use this feature again until you finish the long rest. Pretty helpful to have. You never know when your Demon Harem might accidentally try to poison you with their cooking, which is god-awful. Or Pandemonica maybe tries to break your fingers again. So you may need to make a saving throw to not have them break. Level 10, Champion Fighter. Let you gain another fighting style. And we're going to take the Mariner fighting style from UA. As long as you're not wearing heavy armor, or we're using a shield, which we're doing neither of those things, you have a swimming speed and climbing speed equal to your normal speed. On top of this, you gain a +1 bonus to your AC. This fighting style does stack with unarmored defense, since it's an addition and not a new type of defense. Meaning we get an extra +1 to our AC, and now we can swim and climb much better than we could before. Guess what? We're going fighter 11 again. So now we don't have a double kick, we got a triple kick. Fighter level 12. One last ASI from Fighter. We're going to put it into strength. Put it into our strength, excuse me. Helltaker is a jack dude, and we're going to need the muscles to prove it. Additionally, this will make our kicks just a little bit stronger, which will help in the long run. Dipping back into Barbarian now. At second level, we can now recklessly attack with Reckless Attack, and gain Danger Sense. Reckless Attack gives us advantage on all attacks, but makes all attacks at us have advantage until your next turn. Danger Sense makes it easier for us to dodge the High Prosecutor's chains, because we'll have advantage on all our dexterity saving throws, so long as we can see the source of the save. And our dex save already was decent since we started Rogue, since we have proficiency in that saving throw. But now we have it at advantage. So we don't really need to boost our dex too much, because our dex saves are fine. Getting another level in Barbarian, we do get to pick a primal path. Taking Path of Zealot gives us 2 nifty abilities to further amplify Helltaker. For example, we gain Divine Fury. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, you channel Divine Fury into your weapon strikes. While you're raging, the first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attack takes extra damage equal to a d6 plus half your Barbarian level. The extra damage is necrotic or radiant. You choose the type of damage when you gain this feature. Now, this still works with unarmed strikes, because while they are not considered weapons, the attack is considered a melee weapon attack. So, double check this with your DM first, but as a DM myself, I would rule this would still work with your unarmed strikes. But once again, just double check with your DM that they would allow this if you're unsure. And included in the description is a tweet by Jeremy Crawford, one of the people who made D&D, saying that an unarmed strike is a melee weapon attack. Because it specifies a weapon attack. Unarmed strikes aren't melee weapons, but they are a melee weapon attack. Anyways, that's not even the reason we took this. That's just a little cherry on top for extra damage, if your DM allows it again. Personally, I would, but that's still up to them ultimately. Now, though, the reason we took it, Warrior of the Gods. At 3rd level, your soul is marked for endless battle. If a spell, such as Raise Dead, has the sole effect of restoring you to life, but not on death, the caster doesn't need material components to cast a spell on you. I imagine that spending your life with demons, it's only natural that things get a little dangerous. Especially for your health. Especially, maybe even a little too dangerous for your mortal body. Thankfully, this way, your Demon Harem can bring you back to life much easier now if they accidentally kill you. Hey, maybe you should be a little worried. But don't worry about that now, though. We're going to go another level in Barbarian. That'll give us another ASI, which we'll put into Strength to get it up to 18. Hey, remember that how I said Rogue Sneak Attack is useless? Well, it's still useless, but we're going to go back to Rogue. We're going to gain Cunning Action. Starting at 2nd level, your Quick Thinking and Agility allows you to move and act quickly. You take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. The action can only be used to dash, disengage, or hide action. I mean, this is just pure positive for us. We aren't really using our bonus action anyway, but this gives us a little extra to do on our turns. We go up again in Rogue, and we're going to choose a Roguish archetype. We're going to take Swashbuckler. Again, we don't get anything from the sneak attacks, so we try to gain extra abilities from the rest of Rogue. The Fancy Footwork is great for filling that hole enough. Fancy Footwork says when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you learn how to land a strike and then slip away without reprise. During your turn, if you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature can't make an opportunity attack against you for the rest of that turn. Additionally, we also gain Rakish Audacity. Starting at 3rd level, your confidence propels you into battle. You give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your charisma modifier. That means some great things. We'll get into it in just a second, though. You also gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on your attack rolls to use your sneak attack against a creature if you are within 5 feet. No other creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. All the other rules of sneak attack still apply to you. Again, we aren't gaining the bonus to sneak attack because we aren't using a finesse weapon. But that bonus to initiative still applies, and we also keep the bonus from Remarkable Athlete we gained earlier, giving us an extra +7 to a bonus initiative, along with the +2 we have from Dex. The last level and our capstone from the build is kind of anticlimactic, but we are going to go rogue once again. We're going to get one more ASI, gaining another 2 points in Constitution, maxing that out at 20, which will give us another +1 to our AC and another 20 hit points. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of this. Pros. You are beefy as hell for the Trials of Hell. On average, your hit dice is mostly a D10, with little D12s and a couple D8s mixed in there. So, fair to say, you're a frontliner, and you're going to be pretty damn good at it. You have good damage, and you're good at most of your saving throws. Not great, but it's not bad. You got a D8, and if you're raging, a D6, +8. That's pretty good. And then after, the second attack, though, and the third attack. You still got 3 attacks a turn also, so, maybe not the best, but you still got options. Your attacks are going to hurt. Next up, you are pretty good at most of your saving throws. Keyword is most. Because even the worst saving throw, other than 1, is still a +4 to that saving throw. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad, though. And then you have those snacks that you can make. They're helpful in a pinch. 6 extra hit points. May not be much to some, but it's enough in certain situations, especially in the early levels. In the early levels, it's actually only going to be even less than that, as it's only going to be 2 extra hit points. But 2 extra hit points is enough to keep that squishy wizard in the back alive from one more arrow. Now, the cons of this build. You are terrible at wisdom saving throws. The way we built this, we can't really do a lot to fix it. You have your role. The other con is you have your one role that you're good at. You're good at being the face of the party while being up front in everyone's face. You do that really well. But that's kind of all you can do. You have all those skills you're good at, but everything else is just kind of eh. Remarkable Athlete helps fix up some of it, but again, a lot of your wisdom skills are hurting. Same with your intelligence skills. Did I mention how bad you are at wisdom, by the way? Because that also applies to your intelligence. Granted, your saving grace is that you have proficiency in intelligence saving throws since you're a rogue. So the saving throw isn't bad. But God, your intelligence and your wisdom for checks is awful. Other than that, though, that's the build. I've been your host. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see y'all next time. Farewell.